Man, you gotta stop telling people I'm from Florida, dude. That's that's an instant bad rap, man. Yeah, it's true though. I'm brand new to Austin. I've been here like a month, so I don't know all the lore behind Captain Quackenbush and his military exploits. But thank him for his service. If he's dead, I don't know. Is that your uncle, Austin? I don't know. But it's cool, man, being in a new city and doing everything, for the first time. Like at my new apartment, I got stuck in the elevator. That's never happened to me before. It's a good time. And I was probably in there like 45 minutes, something. It's hard for me to know for sure because it took me a while to realize it wasn't moving in the first place. It took me too long. I can admit that now. I mean, the place only has 3 floors, and I was only going up to the second. And like, yeah, was I high at the time? Yes, obviously, but that's not an excuse anymore. And I wasn't listening to music or anything. I was just staring at my reflection in those metal doors for 4 to 7 minutes, probably. But then when I figured out what was going on, I realized no one's ever prepared me for this situation. I don't know what do you think the first thing you do when you're stuck in an elevator is? That's what I did. I panicked. I decided, okay, I'm just gonna pick a corner and pee in it. No, I didn't have to pee that bad. I just saw my chance and I took it. I figured they can't be mad about, they can't prove legally I could have held that. That's never going to hold up in a court of law. Second thing I did was I fired up a cigarette, and that's risky because there's a limited air supply in there. And I thought they'd be mad about that one, but they weren't. They just assumed I was like claustrophobic, freaking out so bad I almost peed myself and had to smoke one to calm down. But truth is, I was eerily calm. As far as I was concerned, okay, it finally happened, man. The bombs are dropping, the aliens are here, the apocalypse is happening, and when I get these doors open, it's post-apocalypse time. Really, I'm lucky I was in there alone, man. If there was somebody else, I would have just pillaged them for supplies instantly. Or 7 to 10 minutes after the elevator got stuck. As soon as I realized what was going on, they're done, man. Either join the war party or fuel it. And that's a tough one when they finally open those doors. Like, if you've resorted to cannibalism, you better be stuck at least an hour. No, I don't know if I really have that killer instinct for the post-apocalypse. Like, I was never good at sports. I think that'd be a good indicator. Like, I could never cut it in the NFL, but NFL water boy. Now, there's an awesome sports job. I feel like that's more my skill set. I've got big hands. I can hold 2 bottles at once. I've never done it, but I'm pretty sure I could squirt dudes in the mouth with pinpoint accuracy. I'd even slice up little cucumbers in the bottle. Like, I'd be a Hall of Famer, right? Generational prospect. So I've been training for the draft, working on my 40-yard squirt time. Because as easy as it sounds, some water boys can't hack it in the league, right? They get called in the coach's office. Son, you squirted Mahomes in the eye again, and we're trading you to Tampa. I need you to clean out your locker. It's a real journeyman water boy. But I think the best sports job you could have, it's in basketball when a player falls on the court. The guys who run out and mop up the sweat real quick. I could do that, man. You don't even have to bend over. Oh man, best seats in the house. The only downside is you're on national TV, like LeBron James is checking your work, like squeak, squeak, squeak. Missed a spot. Or if you slip yourself, that's a blooper for the next decade on ESPN. Really, I want to see, they should make like a sports documentary about some old head sweat mopper, retired, talking about how the game's gone soft. Like, these guys are in such good shape, they don't even sweat. Back in my day, they were crushing 3 beers and a cigar at halftime with no air conditioning. Patrick Ewing be standing in a puddle up to his ankles every time he shot free throws. And if Shaquille O'Neal fell down, a whole sweat tsunami, take out the courtside seats. We didn't even have mops. We got 1 towel and a bucket to wring it out in. That game, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. He was sweating out 5 flavors of pussy from the night before. I had to use the shirt off my back to mop up all those pheromones. After the game, my wife sniffed me and filed for divorce. The game's changed. Don't even get me started on the WNBA. They don't play hard enough to sweat. That's in character. That's still him talking. I support women's sports, but he's got a point. They would play in hoodies if they were able to. No, I almost didn't make it here, though. Coming to Austin, I had a real health scare when I was diagnosed as airplane fat. Yeah, airplane fat. That's when you board a plane and discover the one-size-fits-all seatbelt. It's not going to fit. Now, I have a history of ignoring warning signs like this, so my first thought was, I'm going to hide it. If I put my backpack in my lap, nobody will even know. But I've never been on a plane before. I don't know the procedure. Is it like a roller coaster? Are they going to come around and tug on everybody's seatbelt? I mean, if my car dings at me when I'm not buckled up, surely Boeing has this technology. This is post 9/11. So I panicked. I didn't know what else to do. I had to do it. I had to push the call button as other people are still trying to get on the plane, and it's just dinging at me now. Shame, shame, fat shame. Finally, a guy worms through the crowd, and he's mad. What? And I was embarrassed. It was like, hey, man, let's try to use our inside voices on this one. I think my seatbelt might be defective because it's not long enough for the buckles to buckle. And frankly, what happens now? Do I have to take the bus? And this guy just yells to the front of the plane, hey, Debbie, can you grab a seatbelt extender? Yeah, he didn't use his inside voice at all. And Debbie's not paying attention. She just yells back, huh? Oh, this gentleman's too big for a seatbelt. He needs more seatbelt. He passed back a seatbelt extender, and he walked away. Now, I didn't know seatbelt extenders were a thing, but sure enough, Debbie pulls one out. But then she hands it to another passenger. And they start passing it back row by row. So everyone gets to take part. Some were turning around. They want to see the plane's fattest man with their own eyes. Finally gets to me, man, and that's a defeating moment. I was like, okay, I'm pretending to be asleep the rest of this plane. My eyes will not open until we've landed and everyone else is gone. But it didn't work out. Before takeoff, I feel tapping on my shoulder, open my eyes. It's Debbie! Now, see, I got an emergency exit row seat because I knew I wanted leg room, but Debbie says you can't be sat in an emergency exit seat with a seatbelt extender. How can you possibly perform the duties and responsibilities expected of you in the event of a tragedy? And I'm pretty sure she was lying to me. Because look, dude, it's barely any longer. It buckles the same. And quick eyeing it up. I'm not fat enough to get stuck in the hatch like Winnie the Pooh and impede anyone else's escape. But also know you can get kicked off a plane for arguing with Debbie. So, of course, at this point, the entire plane is full. I have to switch with another person. And then Debbie picks someone across the aisle from me who is, I would describe them as the skinniest adult on the plane. It hits me like, oh my God, Debbie thinks I'm fat enough to affect the aerodynamics of a 737. She thinks this plane is just going to do barrel rolls the whole way if she doesn't do something. And I've never been on a plane, maybe she's right. So I get in my new seat. I buckle my new seatbelt extender. And I can't even pretend to be asleep anymore because I'm crying a little bit. Luckily, that made everyone else around me pretend they were sleeping, which was nice of them. And it hit me now I'm thinking oh man, there's some lifestyle changes. I'm coming to Austin for a new way of life. I need to change some things. For starters, I became a thief and I stole this seatbelt extender from the plane so that I'll never have to deal with Debbie again. Thank you guys so much. My name is Michael Head. Thanks for coming out.